I want video. Done. Here we go. Here he is, man. Fucking love it. What's up, Nick?
We got it.
You good?
Yeah, I'm alright.
You nervous?
Huh?
Are you nervous?
No, I don't get nervous with stuff like this.
All right, good. We finally got the call all situated, man. We're rocking and rolling. Give me a little intro. Introduce the podcast.
You're listening to Project My Life, and this is Nick Graziosi.
Done, bro. That's it.
Boom.
Boom. So is the company Phierce or is it Live Phierce?
Phierce. Live Phierce is our motto.
And it's performance supplements? Is that what I'm looking at? I see the banner back there, but your big ass thick neck is covering the tag.
With my big head, you mean?
Your big neck. There you go. Passion, purity, performance. LivePhierce.com. Awesome, man. So I'm just going to rock and roll with this and dive right into it. I'm glad we finally connected. It's been a few weeks of going back and forth, but you're a good friend of Chris Barakat. Met you a few weeks ago over in the Hercules, and I'm intrigued by your story, and I love talking to new fresh entrepreneurs and the movers and shakers, and especially if it's in the bodybuilding supplement world, it's music to my ears, man. So give me a little bit. You said you last week we talked. You were gonna get a banner for the background. So I love the hustle and the grind, man. Tell me a little bit about where you're at right now and what do you got going on with Phierce, and just dive right into it, and then we'll start the dialogue from there.
I had to get this banner up because we're renovating my house. So I'm in the process of moving. But Phierce, is just a company that is looking to put out an awesome line of all natural products that can perform for the heavy hitters, the gym rats, to the women of the world, and the people who are just getting started. And it doesn't matter; it's for the masses, but it performs on any level. So that's just we want to fill that gap on the natural side, and we have a pre-workout out right now. It's doing amazing. We love it. We love the progress that's going, and we love the feedback we're getting from all the people. And we're just excited to keep launching new products. We have a BCA that we're rolling out between a fat burner and some other cool and exciting things that I won't get into. But we're excited for it.
I love it. What made you start? We'll dive into your story and how you started a supplement company. We talked briefly, but the listeners out there need to know, your history and where the products are coming from, because a lot of these big companies just push out products. Excuse me, and they're just kind of like, they're filling the shelves with products that people buy, and it's all about marketing. It's all about these big jacked up diesel dudes, holding the product, pretending that they really took that to get to where they're at, and so it's like putting a big sheet over the consumer's eyes. And what I've noticed when companies first come out, they're solid, they're reputable, they have great product, and the further along they go, they come out with a splash. They come out of the gates hard and heavy, and then like the product starts to slip, and it's not as reliable anymore because their monies that they spent in marketing they don't need anymore. They already captured the audience. They already got the consumer kind of biting on the marketing gig, and they drift away a little bit. And some of them, I'm not going to say all of them that happens to, but you're a fresh company and there's something new and exciting about starting something fresh. You have like anything you could do and you're starting from nothing and you're creating it. So we're going to get more into that. But I'm curious as to why you started with a pre-workout. Your pre-workout was your first product that you came out?
Well, we started as an alkaline water company, and Phierce Water was actually the first route we went, and we still have local alkaline water fill stations, so that's not totally gone, but we decided to take the purity of our water and put it into a supplement line and actually create something that we felt is pure, that we feel is effective dosages, clinically effective dosages and stuff like that based on research. But, Be all full transparency, I was a technician for 12 years. I fixed cars for 12 years. That's where I was. But I've always had a passion for fitness. I've always had a passion for lifting, lifting heavy, pushing myself and my body to the limits. So that's kind of where my passion came from. And then being on bodybuilding.com all the time, being on, in all the different supplement stores, GNCs of the world and the local stores. I mean, I was just buying everything off the shelf that looked cool, that, I wasn't totally knowledgeable on every ingredient that's out there, but it was a different time than it is now. I mean, a lot has changed. A lot of ingredients have changed. A lot of the way people are marketing these products have changed. So, trying to find the new and the best thing coming out, the most innovative thing, I was finding two things that it was lacking, for myself at least, and that was, if it was natural, it didn't work because it was underdosed. When it's when you dose something effectively, it's very hard to make it taste very good. So they'll underdose it to make it taste good, or they'll overdose it and it's not going to taste good. So I wanted to find that gap. I wanted to bridge those two together, and it's like, if it can taste good naturally and it can perform well naturally, there's got to be a happy medium here. And that was my inspiration to go out and create something that met that gap for these retailers, especially, or for the world, for the masses. I mean, there's nothing out there. It was either completely high stim, balls to the wall, stim with a few of these drugs that are out there that companies are putting into the products. And look, everybody's different. Everybody requires certain things. Everybody's body's different. Everybody reacts to certain ingredients different. So I'm not here to say that one is better than the other, but for myself, there was a void that I wasn't able to fill for my own performance and for my own body and the way that I like to put things in. So a lot of it's education. When you're coming out with these products, or like you were saying before, that they, some fall off and some, make it with the marketing and stuff like that. But we're going to really concentrate on education, because that was a big part for me. And I think that as the world is changing into this natural aspect, a lot more education needs to happen. Education is not going to happen in only marketing and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to aim to do.
I love it. A couple of things I want to touch upon. So alkaline water, let's touch upon that for a little brief moment and explain what is alkaline water and why is it so important that we have alkalized water, and obviously get a little into detail as far as how you started even doing that. But tell me a little bit about what is alkaline water first.
Well, alkaline water is basically just has a higher pH level than your regular water or your neutral water. So it could have anything above a 7 on the pH scale is alkaline. Okay, and
why is that important?
Why is it important? The body is alkaline. Your organs are alkaline. You're the only thing in your body that's mainly acidic is your stomach, to break down foods and process, and digestion. But, introducing alkaline water to the body is allowing the body to not have to break it down to make it alkaline. Your body's going to turn water and foods into the levels that it needs to, the pH levels that it needs to. Every organ has a different pH level. So your body's going to do the work, but introducing an alkaline, anything, whether it's foods, superfoods, greens, stuff like that, into the body, allows the body not to work as hard to reverse the process. So instead of introducing something acidic to the body, you're introducing something alkaline. But disease can't thrive in an alkaline environment. Diseases thrive in an acidic environment. That's the whole premise medically behind there. But I think more importantly, clean water should be first, over the alkaline water. Our sources are definitely depleting as far as the cleanliness of them. So it's really important to filter everything that's out there, no matter what state you're in. So clean water is definitely more important. And then the alkalinity is just a great benefit to the body.
So you said you had stations. You had filling stations, or what does that mean with the alkaline water?
Yeah, we have 2 local fill stations here in New York that are basically places that you can go and bring your own bottles or purchase one of our bottles to fill up. We provide glass bottles so that we don't have any plastic or impurities getting into the water. So it's just a station located conveniently into a store that you can go, bring your bottles, fill up, get any type of different pH level or just filtered, purified water by itself that you can go anytime you'd like.
Interesting. Cool. So you have like a ShopRite or some kind of convenience store or something like that locally?
We're in a local supplement store. There's Mission Nutrition in Hicksville, New York, and there's another one opening up in Huntington. So we've grown the alkaline water with them.
And you're still pushing that, or you're heading more into the performance supplement line?
We're definitely heading more into the performance supplement line, but the water, because the fill stations they're kind of big, so for these retailers to put them in there, if they're already established or they already have all their stuff in their store, then it's very hard to throw a fill station in there. But if it's a new store and they're looking to, do something and put a fill station there's definitely options. We can definitely do something with them.
So it's just fill stations. You can't just order like gallons of alcohol, Phierce water and have it delivered to you.
Unfortunately not. We started as a delivery service in New York, but there's a lot of regulations based on being a bottling water facility. So a lot like larger companies, they're just worried about what's happening from the filling to the capping. So, just being completely transparent, like I said, it's okay for you to fill up the water and cap it yourself, but if I'm capping it and filling it and capping it for you, they don't know what's going on between from me to you. So that's the law on it.
Fair enough. All right, cool. So you started with water. Now you were still working as a technician then when you had the water company and it was just water, or did you leave everything and start the water company?
No, I left everything. I dabbled in a few little things here and there between actually finding Phierce and creating Phierce. So there was a few times of finding myself and my journey and my path. Where, it was all business related. I told myself I was never going to go work on cars again. I was never going to go work for somebody else again. I was never going to work harder, not smarter. And I made a decision. I remember like it was yesterday. I was standing outside my gym and I was out of the field already for like 2 months. And I said to myself, like, which route am I going to go? I'm either going to open up my own shop and continue fixing cars for the rest of my life, or I'm going to find a business model that I can go out there and I knew I was good at selling. I knew I was good at, talking to people. I knew I was good, just anything I put my mind to. So that's when I decided, I said, you know what, Nick, you're never going to go turn a wrench for somebody else ever again. And I love to do it, don't get me wrong, and I still do it for myself. But as far as making somebody else that type of money and the amount of work I was putting in and the amount of overtime I was putting in and the amount of cuts and bruises and scrapes and tears and blood and sweat and everything that I was going through just wasn't worth it unless I was going to do it for myself. So that was the day I made my decision, and I've been sticking to it for the past 5 years now.
Woo! Fucking love entrepreneurship, bro. I love jumping ship and going out there and leaving it all on the table. And you have to, it's something inspiring about having to, be responsible for your own food, so to speak. Like you have to go out there. Not only you have to hunt it down, but you have to farm it and you have to nurture it and it's your baby and you grow it and you fertilize it. And there's something special about that you're going to be able to take for the rest of your life. And I never thought about it, but in the beginning, I never thought about it because I'm like, I'm never going to want to sell my business. But the more and more I'm in there, I'm not sure I'm going to want to wear all these hats and be this, all in every aspect of the business. There may be a point in time where, I build it to sell it. And I read a good book a couple of years ago. It's called Built to Sell. And every business that you create, you should have a model that you could eventually sell it. Because what's the point if you're not going to be able to have an exit plan at the end of your, however, you may get bored one day or you may say, fuck it, I don't want to do it anymore. Having a model that you could kind of sell it, now you have a brand, you're building it up, you're depositing it into the bank, so to speak. People working for, other people, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's something that's for somebody, people need to be working for somebody. They want that 9 to 5 because, as an entrepreneur, there is no 9 to 5. It's 9 to 9, 24/7, whatever. It's whatever you got to do. Sundays, Mondays, doesn't matter. And that's kind of like there's certain mentality is necessary to make that happen, you know. Good for you, man. So you worked for a technician for how many years?
12 years.
12 years. Said fuck it, I'm never going back. I love it. And you've been with Phierce now. It's just you. You're a solo owner.
Owner operator.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Well, let talk real quick. I mean, don't forget, it was this 5 years. I've been the scariest, toughest, most draining. You name it. I mean, we spoke on the phone the other day, and I told you we were going to get down to the nitty gritty. This hasn't been a fun time. You know, I mean, it's a fun time because I'm doing what I love, but it's the scariest thing. When you don't have something to fall back on, you don't have a check coming every week, like you're saying. You got to go out and you got to hunt. You got to set the table. You got to wear all the hats. You got to do everything. So it's just to touch on that. It's been the scariest time of my life.
Absolutely. Would you trade it in for anything?
Never.
That's what it's all about, brother. And I agree, man. We had our car repossessed, bro, in 2010. Like, here we are. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna finally do this business thing. You know, I had a little business when I was 21, marketing business. It was a corporation. Never really had the right people doing the right thing. So I wanted this big company, and I had dreams of being an entrepreneur and this big business owner, but it didn't happen. So I went back to working for somebody and kind of found my way and did a couple things, MTV, TV, this, that, and the other thing, personal training. But then we jumped full in 2010. We came to a town, we knew nobody. We had, barely any money. Karen had money saved up because I'm not a saver. Unfortunately, now I am because I'm married to her and she takes care of me. But I was never a saver. I was kind of like, if I had it, I spent it. Corvette, Mustang, I wanted to go on vacation. I went on vacation. Whatever I did, I kind of lived like today is my last day on earth. So I didn't have any money. We came here, we dumped it all into the business, had nothing. It was Karen, myself, and our little pooch, Cheech, and that was it, dude. Walked out of our little apartment one day that was directly above our studio because we live basically in the studio, and that's what you do in the beginning. You go all in, We walked out to our car, and the car wasn't there. I thought I parked it on the other side of the building, so we walked to the other side of the building. Fucking car's not there. I'm like, that's strange. Now, new town, didn't know anybody. Maybe we got stolen. So I go call the cops. Done. No, hey, Mr. Monetti, yeah, your car's been repossessed. Done. Like, holy shit. Mic drop. Like, what do you do? But you either have a chance to say, all right, this is not going to work. Let me go find a job and do something that I know I'm not going to really like because this is where my heart is. Or you kind of, pull your bootstraps up and wipe the tears away and say, fuck, this is scary as fuck. This is no joke. And you go all in and make it happen. I think that's what pushes me every day to know that I don't have a safety net. Or the fact, if you want to really think about it, I am my own safety net. Because you can walk into work for somebody and they can be like, oh, we're cutting your hours back in half this week. And then what do you do? So I think I talked about it in the post yesterday about building your adaptability muscle and how well you adapt to these changes in your life are what's going to set you apart and what's going to make you successful. Like if you walked into work and they were like, you're comfortable, you're kind of like, oh, I get a paycheck every week and I'm kind of doing my thing, nothing to worry about. And then they're like, we're cutting your hours in half. Or that business shuts down because they're not profitable anymore. Now, you never really built your adaptability muscle, so you don't really know how to adapt to change. So now you're really shit out of luck, But when you own something, you own this company now. You are the maker or breaker, right? You can go out there and hustle it. You can build it to a $15 million a year company. Or you can kind of chill and make it, a $30,000 a year company. It's all in your hands, and that's kind of what drives me to just fucking hustle, bro. Hustle Mania 2017, man. That's what the fuck it's all about. Hashtag that shit.
Hashtag hustle.
Hustle Mania. Cool. So alkaline water. Now you have one. I actually tried your pre-workout and loved it. And just to clear the air, folks. I am not a sponsored athlete by NutriBio. So there's clearing the air. I'm an affiliate of NutriBio. I'm basically a wholesaler in the studio. I think the products are great. I do take them, but I'm not a sponsored athlete. I'm not contracted to only take NutriBio products. And I kind of, as I never really wanted to be, locked down, so to speak, until I really felt that I can get the support that I needed. I don't think I have enough of a social media following for me to be a NutriBio athlete. They told me that I needed to build that up. Whatever, that's a whole different story. But just so everybody knows, Nick's become a really, he's become a friend of mine, and I believe in the product. He hooked me up with it, with a bottle of pre-workout back in June. And I fucking loved it, dude. I loved it, and I like the little tingly ears, and I like that kind of like, holy shit, I'm about to work out feeling, and that's from the beta alanine, I believe, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. So, and you also mentioned that there's some whole natural supplements there that keep it quote unquote clean. Let's talk about those for a minute. What are some supplements? What are some ingredients in your pre that set you apart from the rest?
Well, I'll give you two right off the bat, and one of them is kind of like where the world is at right now, and that's on the stim side. So there's a lot of high stim products out there today. There's a lot of super stim products out there using some bad substances and things like that. I won't get into them, but as far as the difference between us and those guys is we use something called Pure Caf, and it's organic caffeine. It's from unroasted green coffee bean. And so we don't have any synthetic caffeines or any type of, I would just say synthetic caffeines that will give you, it's a different energy. Ours is a much more of a cleaner energy, sustained energy. And it brings you up, you don't feel that like crazy rise and then a crazy drop later on when it wears off of you. And you certainly wouldn't get withdrawals from our type of caffeine from taking either too much or not taking it after a while. So that's one big difference from us. And the second difference I would say is how we sweeten our product. There's a lot of products, almost every product out there sweetened with sucralose, and sucralose is an alternative to sugar to say that you don't have sugar in your product. There is a recommended dosage for all this stuff, but sucralose can have some digestive issues if you take too much of it, and that's on almost anything. I guess you could say you can take anything in moderation, but it's an artificial sweetener, and we use stevia, which is plant-based, and xylitol, which from non-GMO birch bark, which is also plant-based, and that's what we use to sweeten it. So you don't get a candy effect, I should say, or crazy sugar effect, but it's as sweet as you can get it, being natural, and still tastes great.
I love it. Touch upon these supplements, because you were slinging wrenches around, bro, 5 years ago. So how did you learn so much about what ingredients you wanted to use, and where'd you get where'd you get educated on this stuff, and why did you choose these supplements, or these ingredients, I should say? Well,
there's so many different sources. There's so much information out there. There's so much research out there. There's so much documented and proven research and scientific research. So not just the guy, your neighbor on his blog saying that his ingredient, this is what it does. But there's actually proven research out there. But before all that, before I got even into all that, I was looking at these ingredients, seeing what I'm putting into my body. I'm very conscious about what I want to put in my body and what I'm going to put in my body and how much of it I'm going to put in my body. So that kind of was all. Even when I was turning wrenches, I was doing pull-ups on the lifts while the cars were in the air. And I was doing. Some of my dealerships had gyms upstairs, which was awesome. So I was always, no matter what, I was lifting something. The axles of a car, I'm curling and going crazy with it. So just from walking from parts to my lift. I was carrying boxes or rotors and, brakes and, the stuff's heavy, it's not, transmissions and,
I love it.
But, like I said, it's all out there. We were lucky enough to be able to consult with, some people who do have the background, in ingredients and supplementation. So I definitely consult with them, but again, for the most part, the research is out there, and what works together and what doesn't work together synergistically is out there. So it was a long time of collecting information and research and data, and for even more importantly, testing it ourselves. I don't just say, okay, this ingredient and this ingredient because it says works together. Great, that means it does. We put it together, we formulate it, we get raw material, we get the product back to us, and we actually go out there and test it before we release it. So I test it myself. We have other people who see how it performs, see what it does for them. It's men, it's women, it's all different ages, it's all different sizes and classes, as far as amateur to gym rats to bodybuilders, and you name it. So that's what we do, and we make sure we cover every aspect of it, from taste to smell to how they work together to how cloudy it is. If it's not, no dyes, no fillers. We cover everything. I want to know, when people drink aminos, we don't always put it in 12 ounces of water. We put it in a full shaker cup that usually has like 28 ounces of water. So if I'm making something besides the ingredient wise, I'm thinking about how people are using it. So I'm like, okay, well, this needs to taste good with 28 ounces of water also, not just 14 ounces of water if it got diluted.
Wow, very true.
It's all of that. When you go to the gym, it's an experience. It's something that, for me, it's my safe haven. It's my place to release stress. It's my place to collaborate with people and learn about new people and find new things and try new things and push myself and my body, my mind, and spiritually, and no matter what it is. That's kind of like my all-in-one place is the gym. So if our products are working for people, that I also want it to work for their experience.
Wow, that's good stuff, man. So you say we? You have a team of kind of people that you go to, or you're in the lab with them, kind of taste test and stuff. And I find that stuff amazing. Like what goes into a product and what goes into manufacturing something like that. Do you have a warehouse, or do you have a manufacturer that you resource up in Long Island, or is it outsourced?
We have manufacturer here on Long Island. I'm proud to say that I kept it here in my home, my own backyard.
Awesome.
It's manufactured. We have a manufacturer here on Long Island. We have a warehouse here on Long Island. But I think I missed the first part of your question. I'm sorry, but yeah, we do it all.
That was it.
I said the we. I say we. It's funny all the time. I say we because I feel like Phierce is a we. It's a collaboration of everybody, from the people who are me making it, or the people helping us make it, the manufacturers. I say we because they're the people who are taking it even. Phierce is a lifestyle brand. It's not something, we're not just putting out products for something for the gym. We're putting out a lifestyle, a culture that we want to put out there of positivity and encouragement for the lifestyle. So when I say we, it's everybody. It's somebody I've never met before. They've taken Phierce, they've worn a shirt, they've shook my hand, they've done whatever. They're part. I feel like they're part of the Phierce family, and I just say we out of naturally now, where it's not just me. It'll never be just me, and it takes a lot more than just me to make Phierce what it is and what it can be.
I love it. Did you go to school? Any kind of schooling for this, man, or no?
I did not. I graduated high school. When I was in high school, the beginning of high school, I knew I was going to fix cars for the rest of my life. Or at least I thought I was going to fix cars for the rest of my life. So I got rid of every class. I got rid of everything that didn't have to do with me fixing cars when I got out of high school. I was very fortunate to be able to pick things up quickly. So I even didn't need to go to an automotive technical school after high school. I went to a 2-year program while I was in high school. It was my alternative to not wanting to go to class. School wasn't my thing. Testing wasn't my thing. Teachers weren't my thing. Authority wasn't my thing. So being in a shop and working with my hands was my thing at the time. So that's where I wanted to be. That's what I said I was going to do. And I was working in a shop when I was a junior in high school. So no matter what, I knew that once I graduated, I was going and going to be fixing cars. But, the table turned 12 years later, and, it was a lot of mental abuse, a lot of physical abuse in the industry. It was a lot of discrimination. There was a lot of, when I say discrimination, I mean like age discrimination, because I was a young guy, but I could run circles around a lot of the guys that were there. And just because I applied myself and I was a hustler and I wanted to make more, we got paid by the job. We didn't get paid by the hour. So if it was a slow day and the cars weren't coming in, we weren't getting paid. We were getting paid on our performance. So that was kind of also a big thing for me. Lucky to have a guy next to me who taught me how to sell and make money on cars. And if we didn't, if the car came in for an oil change that we were going to make nothing on, we had to make sure that car might have needed an air filter or a tire rotation, or they needed tires, or they needed something else to add to that repair order, because at the end of the day, that oil change is not going to pay for me to be there for 8 hours.
Right.
So it was a hard one.
Good for you, man. I'm happy for you, and it's good to see. I love that shit inspires me, man. Just starting something from nothing and then building it into something. What's the next step for Phierce? You're coming out with, should we not tell everybody about what you're working on? Or, I don't know what the secret is, and if you can share it or not.
Well, I kind of said a little bit in the beginning, but we're coming out with a full-blown, fully loaded branched-chain amino acid, which I'm super excited about, because there's a lot of the same ones on the market, and we're trying to put out some cool, innovative products, some fully dosed products. So I'm really excited about that. And we have a fat burner that we've been working on for a while now. We're in testing phases, and I'm super excited about that, because we're even getting responses from the manufacturer on like the potency. So really? for being a natural product and getting the type of feedback that we're getting. But as far as the future is concerned, we're going to be coming out with some innovative stuff. I don't want to have the same stuff that's on the shelf as everybody else. So when it comes to, it might be the same category, but definitely ingredient-wise and how we're going to do it and how it's going to perform will be completely different, and you will be able to tell that just by looking at it.
So the fat burner is going to be powder or capsule?
It's going to be a capsule.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be a capsule.
All right, so yeah, Karen's excited about that amino, man. She goes for her long runs. She's training for a half marathon in November, I believe now, and she goes for these long runs, and she just water. I told her about some aminos to take. Too sweet for her, and she just kind of if she's sucking down that while she's running for 8, 9, 10, 12 miles, it makes her nauseous. So she's really excited about what you got going on. You dropped a seed on her a little bit, and that sounded fucked up. You didn't drop a seed on her. You planted a seed with both of us a couple weeks ago, and she's been asking about it ever since. So yeah, I'm actually you better not have planted a fucking seed on her, man. But anyway, you all right?
Yeah, cool. I don't know who you're talking to. I was just, double checking. I'm the only one over here.
Do me a favor, bro. Turn to your left and then look up at your banner and just point at it. Cause I need a screenshot for the banner or for the thumbnail. You're frozen right now. Can't see it. Now do it. There you go. Do it again. There it is. Perfect. Drop your thumb a little bit. There it is. Perfect. LivePhierce.com. All right, man. Good stuff. So you got some stuff popping off. When can we expect this new amino?
Don't hold me to it, but I want to say within the next month or two tops, you will be seeing it, or at least tasting the actual flavor and everything that we're doing now. So we're just locking down. We have 5 flavors. We're doing a focus group next week. So we're going to be locking down the 2 flavors that we're going to be launching, but we're going to be coming out with 1 at a time. So soon, very soon.
Awesome. So besides Live Phierce, and that's Live, PHIERCE.com, besides online, can we walk in anywhere and buy this product, or is it strictly online?
Well, you know what? It's great that you asked that, because I'm super excited. Today I got the email. Our store locator is up and live on our website.
Awesome.
So if you're in, right now we are only on Long Island and part of Westchester. So in the New York area, we're 2.5 months old. So if you're listening and you have a retailer that you want Phierce in, please go tell them and have them contact us, and we'll make sure that we take care of them. But as of right now, we're we're mainly in the New York area. There might be somebody in Jersey that might have some, want some product coming soon. So we never know.
Absolutely, man. Let's get it on our shelves, bro. I'm a big fan. I took it. I loved it. I don't mind. I mean, I love supporting you. Let's get it in body and let's get the word out. Also, real quick, I think from a bigger scale, obviously, bodybuilding.com would be something that I don't know if you thought about. I'm hoping that you have. But what's the process of getting something like bodybuilding.com to pick up your product?
And again, just honesty and transparency. It's very difficult to, especially for a new company, for somebody who's producing small runs and stuff like that, where our numbers are a little different than these guys are doing truckloads and truckloads and truckloads,
sure.
Every other day. So going into bodybuilding.com, going into GNC, going into those big guys of the world, and it's very difficult for a little guy like me to meet their standards, or to meet not their standards. I think we exceed their standards, but as far as like what they require for a company to do just to get their products into that, because they're so big and they're so out there that you almost have to pay them to to get involved. So that's not a move for us right now. It's not. Wouldn't be strategic, wouldn't be smart. So maybe in the future it'd be something that we can look at and entertain. But as of right now, we're going to be really catering to the local supplement stores, the ones that are really catering to a more natural market, the ones that are just in there and that are really educating their clientele out there. So no offense to any of the other companies, not saying anything bad about any other retailers that are out there, but we're definitely going to be strategic on who we're going to be working with and making sure that not only is our product a fit for their store, but they're a fit for our product as well. So, we have to work hand in hand.
Well, I think like anything else, man, you think long term, you think like, what's the big vision of Phierce and what you want to be known as and how you want your brand to be looked at is a whole different story than making fast money. Another one of my messages that are going to come out, it's about passion versus profit. And I think that especially as a young entrepreneur, like you're putting these hours in, like you have to be 100% passionate about it. And you have to think about the profit, but what comes first is your passion and knowing that you're putting it in the right places. And I also think there's something to be said about exclusivity. And I like that you're carving out a little, unique kind of, name for yourself. And there's going to be struggle. You're not over the struggle, bro. But that there's something to be said about long term, where you see this company going and what you see it becoming, and focus on that. Is more important than making a few extra bucks now and jeopardizing your integrity. I love it. I'm a big fan.
Absolutely. I think you touched on a huge word right there, and that's integrity. And that's something that a lot of people are. You mentioned it too. You were like, set up a plan to sell, and a lot of people were asking me, would you sell to a bigger company if they ever approached you? And it's going to be the same answer now than it will be later, and that's absolutely not. And that's only because you're talking to me. You were saying something about a plan B, and this is my plan A, my plan B, my plan C, my plan everything. So no matter what, Phierce will always evolve, and that's a big thing too. So it might be supplements right now, but it has the potential to be able to evolve in any other route I want to go in. And it's an industry I love. It's an industry that I've always been a part of, even when I didn't have Phierce. So when it comes back to the passion, this is my passion. This is what I love to do every day. I wake up and I'm excited to do it. So that's where we're at with it, and it's not going to go anywhere no matter what we do. Phierce will always be able to evolve and turn with the world.
What is your big vision? A bunch of supplements, or you have plans for something bigger and grander, or it's going to remain as #1 performance supplement company?
Besides the #1 natural supplement company, performance company, we want to do some big things too. We have things that are just in my head, visions that I can see is something that we're going to call Phierce Fest, and it's going to be a big, huge event that we want to throw. When we have that type of following and those types of people that will collaborate with each other and get out there in the fitness industry. So whether it's from trainers to people actually taking classes or doing things like that, or active in the gym. So there's a million and one avenues. We want to collaborate with people like you, people who are out there every day and on the grind and are educating people to live better lifestyles and create better bodies or better versions of themselves, no matter if it's mentally or physically. Those are the people that we want to collaborate with and on every level as much as possible.
I love it. Speaking of, bro, who is this new guy that you got all up in your ads, dude? This fucking monster, Shevon. You linked up with him recently. Is he your spokesperson right now?
Shevon Cunningham. Shevon Cunningham is a great friend of mine. I was so blessed to be able to meet him. I was introduced to him by another great friend of mine, Christopher Barakat, from Competitive Breed, who they were close with each other. And I reached out to Chris. He lived around the block from me, and I reached out to him before I was starting and saying, hey, I'm looking for some good people that I can get involved with, and that would be good for Phierce. And he brought up a few names, and you were one of them. Shevon Cunningham was another. There was a few others, and so I was able to reach out to Shevon. I met with him at his gym, and it was an instant click. It was crazy the vibes that we were giving off, and that I felt at least. And he's our sponsored athlete. He's our 100% full-blown sponsored athlete. We love him to death. He just competed and made an introduction into the NPC this last weekend. Just want to touch real quick on that.
Yeah. Did he turn pro? Was that a pro qualifier?
That was he has to nationally qualify first, okay. And now he can go to qualify for his pro card at the next NPC show that he does, because he did take first in bodybuilding. He did take first and the overall in classic physique. So. Congratulations, Shevon.
Fuck that guy, bro.
Publicly. He
fuck
went
that
in
guy.
there like a tornado.
Fuck that guy, bro.
Yeah.
Shevon, I'm only messing with you, man. I've always been inspired by Shevon. Him and I have, if he would come in first, I was coming in second. We did that for, a couple of shows back-to-back one year. It's he would win, I would take second. He took second, I took third. I was always right under his fucking ass. But he's super, super humble dude for his accomplishments and his physique. He's an all-around, good dude, and I agree. I think, and I never liked him in the beginning because he was better than me, right? So I never liked him, but getting to know him, he's a humble dude, and as I've gotten older, it's dude, you're just gonna push me to get better. But good stuff. I cut you off a few times just now because I couldn't wait to say fuck him publicly. But I love you, Shevon. Just touch upon that real quick because I cut you off because I'm an asshole. What'd you say?
As far as what?
You were saying about his route now. He can go on. He's got to qualify. And he's gonna, you were saying something.
He's naturally qualified now, so he can do a show and get qualified for his pro card. But it's because he placed very well this past weekend. So we're gonna be like a tornado in the NPC. It's his way to grow. There's a lot of talk when it comes to switching federations or moving in different directions, whether one is natural, one isn't. But I think it all depends on the person, on how they treat their competing season or their competition season, on how they're gonna do it. So if he's natural, he's natural. If he's able to only take it so far in the NPC being natural, then that's where he's gonna take it. But he's taking it as far as he can, I think, in his own eyes. As far as in the natural federation, so he wants to explore his options and see how far he can take it in competing against guys who may not be natural, And I think I applaud him for that. I think it takes a ton of courage, and I have a lot of respect for the decision that he made for that, and to go up against guys that are 3 times, 4 times his size. And competing in overall and stuff like that. Especially, we saw that this weekend, and he knows it. Everybody else knows it. It's just reality. But let's see where Shevon Cunningham can take this, and let's see how far he can go in the NPC, being the Shevon Cunningham that we know.
Right. I agree, man. I obviously questioned his natural status in the beginning because he's a freak in nature, but he's been so consistent with his whole career that. I'm a believer. Plus, I have no reason to not believe him. It's about integrity, and I'm very impressed with his physique. And if he can, I don't think he even has to take anything, to be honest with you, because for a while anyway, because he has that good of a physique where it's just he's got a wow factor, you know. I will say, Shevon, please, brother, let's work on your damn posing, bro, because we got to get that posing down. You have a hell of a physique. I don't want to see you lose because you're not hitting your poses correctly. We did a little posing back in Miami for the DFAC World, real quick in the hotel room in between evening and morning show. And again, I mean, he gets by just by being fucking Shevon, you know. But he puts a little bit more effort and energy into his posing, and he'll definitely be, you know, something to be messed with in the NPC. So I'm happy for him to grow. Sad, of course, to see him leave. You know, I don't know if I'll ever be able to, you know, compete with him again in a DFAC or something like that, because I know there's definitely some bullshit. I think actually the NPC may require you to, and this, I could be all bullshit in this, but this is what I thought. The NPC requires you to actually turn in or kind of disconnect from the WNBF or any kind of natural federation before you advance to, like, you know, national level or something like that. But again, that could be all bullshit. I don't know. I'm just talking off the top of my head. But either way, best of luck to Shevon, and I'm happy that you guys linked up. And he's going to be a great rep for you, because I've never seen him post so much now that he's associated with you guys. He's putting out, like, you know, videos and you know, images of him working out and this, that, and the other thing. So I'm happy that you guys linked up. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. So, yeah, man. Let's continue to grow Phierce. We're gonna give one more shout out to everybody out there. First of all, Chris Barakat. Every time I have a fucking podcast, his name comes up. That little fuck. He's always popping up. He's a good dude. He's a good, solid dude. He's got a bunch of stuff going on with the industry. He's a big mover and shaker. But as far as Phierce, bro, let the listeners know where they can get a hold of Phierce right now, and how they can get a hold of you if they want to track Phierce's progress down.
You guys can all get Phierce, learn about Phierce at livefierce.com, but more importantly, go to Body. You'll find it there. You'll see it there very, very soon. So that's definitely a place you guys can see it in Anthony Monetti's own backyard. We're super excited to work with you, man. I really want you to know that on any level whatsoever. But livefierce.com, please go there, check it out, learn about it, read our story, see what we're doing, see what we got going on. Follow us on Instagram. Live Phierce is our handle on Facebook and Instagram. Check us out, follow the model, man, and encourage others to do the same. Encourage others to hit the gym, encourage others to do better, encourage others to go out there and inspire others to do the same exact thing. And, you know, we're super excited to actually, you know, push this lifestyle on, man, Ant. We really are.
So real quick, guys, it's PH as in pH water. Live Phierce, PHIERCE.com. Just because that's important. I think that I put two and two together before when you said pH water. And I was like, the pH. That makes sense now. I like it. Good stuff. Good marketing there, brother. Yeah, as far as Body, as soon as we get rocking and rolling, we're doing some renovations in there. We're going to have a nice little area for some supplements, some Body-approved supplements. I would love to get you your own little, shelf in there and get some products in there and push it out, because I'm a believer and I take it myself. Yeah, and if you ever want to link up and talk further about some kind of, again, I'm still, with WNBF, and I'm still kind of, trying to get some of those titles that Shevon has accumulated over the past, 10 years of his life. I'm still grinding. I'm not that blessed yet, as he would put it. I'm not that blessed. I'm still working, but let's link up, man. I mean, again, I'm not sponsored by NutriBio. I'm not locked in. If there's any opportunities that I can help you grow and link up and build a relationship up with it, I'm all about it, man. One more question, though. Any kind of words of wisdom for anybody who's stuck at that 9 to 5 right now, and they're wishing and they're hoping that they could do something better with their life, and they don't like where they're at? Let's hear it from Nick, owner of Phierce. Some advice that they could take.
We might need to do a whole other podcast for that. But in all reality, no bullshit. Okay, you're stuck in a 9 to 5, or you're stuck somewhere. You're stuck mentally. You're stuck physically. Whatever it may be. Just know that, one, you're not the only one. Two, you can break through it. You just got to keep telling yourself, break through, break through, break through. Keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I remember I would always tell myself, and it's funny because I would always think of Finding Nemo. I'd just be like, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, because I was always felt like I was drowning. And but just know that you've won 100% of the battles that you've ever been faced with. You're still alive. You're still here. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Know that it's not going to be easy. Know you just got to be prepared for that. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things is people get afraid. Fear does not exist in your dojo. Okay, that's one of the things that I've learned along the lines. Like, you can't be afraid of any of this. Nobody can hurt you as far as what they're going to say to you. Nobody can hurt you because they don't want to do business with you. Nobody can hurt you because they don't like you as a person or a friend. Nobody can hurt you except for yourself. And I think that once you learn that, you're able to take on the world, because only you can stop you. You can only fail if you quit, and you can only fail if you don't get started. So that's the biggest thing for me is I had to say to myself, stop getting ready to get ready. You know, being in that 9 to 5, and you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. Gary Vee says it the best, fuck you're gonna, because you'll get stuck on that, and I have been there. And so just keep doing what you love, but always take that chance, always take the risk. You'll always be super happy with taking that risk, and if you did not win, you will learn. It's never a failure. There's so many different things that I can tell you, but just believe in yourself and believe that what you believe in is true. And as long as you love doing what you're doing, just go out there and do it, and do not give a fuck what anybody says or anybody thinks. As long as you love it and you're happy, that is it. End of story.
Done. Microphone drop. Boom! Nick, it's been a pleasure, my man. I really appreciate the opportunity to chat with you and also to link up with you. I really feel you're a solid quality dude, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. Let's link up off the air, and we'll get Phierce up in the body. And again, head over to LivePhierce, PHIERCE.com. Link up with these guys. A solid company. You're going to see big things coming from LivePhierce. You're going to see big things coming from Phierce, not LivePhierce. That's your tagline. That's pretty dope, though. You're going to see big things from Nick and Phierce and the supplements he's about to put on the market. So stay tuned, you guys. Pay attention to Nick. He's a mover and shaker in the industry, and he is body approved.
Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, man. Thank you, brother.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you, man. Let's link up and let's make this happen, brother. I appreciate the opportunity. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate you.
I'm gonna take a couple hours today. I'll get it up on the iTunes, and then we can share it around through our social media networks. We're friends on Facebook, of course, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
we will be.
You got a chill picture. You just try to model it. You're sitting down, kind of chilling out in that Facebook profile picture. Is that you?
That's Instagram. That's
Instagram. All right.
That was with the old hair too.
I know you got some long ass hair, man. You keeping it? You gonna?
I don't know.
All right. What kind of product do you use for it?
Just gel.
All right.
What kind of product?
That's the Long Island. I love it, brother.
Hey.
He's also Italian, which is super cool. Nick, I appreciate you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey.
Peace.
Be good, brother.
Live Phierce.
Live Phierce.
There it is.